Well, guys, it's been a little over a week, maybe closer to two, since we got the news on the frame of the 65 and the fact that she ain't in good shape and that the parts of the cab aren't as usable as we were hoping. So we've been hot on the trail of everything available in like the tri-state area, and well, let's talk about some of those results on this week's Tuesday Morning Tech Tip from Pugliese Speed Shop. Well, guys, we don't have a frame or a new cab in the shop, so I think you probably already know the results, right? Actually, the cab's not coming here. We're going to send that right over to Joe because he's the one that needs that. However, I got some plans for the frame. Now, I'm talking about both of them like I already got them because I'm being optimistic, all right? I ain't got them. I thought I had them 2 or 3 times, and, apparently these things are, a hot topic right here. Is that topic? They're hard to get. They're hard. Everybody wants them, is what I'm saying. All right. I don't know if everybody's out bending frames or if they're corroded or what, but guys, we have found some stuff that that's out there, and the prices are not bad at all. I'm running into the same problems I've run into before, and guys, I just don't know how to fix it. So hopefully, we'll go over here. You guys know the drill. We'll sit down, we'll talk about it. Hopefully, you guys can help me out a little bit. Guys, the biggest problem I have with all this kind of stuff is I hate cutting stuff up. I mean, I really hate it. Like, building this truck, I got a lot of stuff at the junkyard and, used parts and stuff like that. So I get it. I mean, there was that one truck that went and the thing was taken apart in that guy's garage where I got the stuff, none of it I used, but I was able to repurpose it and help other people out. I understand that there's some things that are just too far gone, and those parts can go to save something that's not. I got it. You guys might remember before that guy was sitting there, this guy was sitting there. And I got that for a smoking deal. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little story. All right, we're going to rewind back to 2020, where I was first like, it was wrecked for a couple of years. I had the shop here now. I'm starting to do things a lot more. I had some room. I started getting a little confidence, whatever it might be, of what I'm going to finally fix this truck. And I started looking into frame swaps because I was just 99% sure that frame was bent. Guys were talking about Tahoes. Pick up a Tahoe. You can do all this work and, LS and disc brakes and fill in the blanks, right? Well, I thought about that for a minute and I started looking at some. Some of them look awful. Just absolutely awful. Some of them look actually really good. The people that took some more time, maybe had some better skills or whatever, and they look pretty decent. I didn't want an automatic, so that was kind of it. I didn't want the interior to look like a Tahoe. There's a lot of things that I didn't want to go with this, right? But I was on this group's page or whatever for these trucks, 64 to, I think it was actually 60 to 66. And a guy hits me up. And he says, "Hey, man, I got a truck you might want. It's a 65 short bed. It's rusty, but complete. The frame's legit. Everything seems to be there, works, whatever." And he was just around Colonial Beach, about an hour away from here. I said, okay. And actually, he catches the channel sometimes, and I got him on the Facebook and all that kind of thing. But he had this truck. He loves these trucks. He had a couple of them. He was going to build this one for himself. After he was building another one, he's got a little body shop, paint shop, stuff like that. And yeah, so he hits me up. He's like, I said, well, okay, sure. He's like, dude, $500, come get it. I said, well, that's easy. So got the trailer. We went and got it. I mean, it's here we are. You know, I'll put some pictures up of picking it up, getting it, whatnot. Dude was super cool. He paid more than that, right? But he wanted to build it, and he's like, it's a little, you know, I got a rust-free one. I'd rather build that. So he was doing that. Wanted to off this one. Cool. So I started looking at it, and I'm like, man, it ain't that bad. I got a clean title. It's complete. It had the wrong bed. It was a 67 to 72 bed. The floors was rusty, but I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I'm gonna just like shop truck this thing. I'm gonna cut the rust out, pop rivet in some floors or something, and make everything work. I got it running. It was on the channel. You guys, it was sitting right here. Got it running, and so yeah, this is gonna be a cool shop truck. I'm gonna think about brakes and this and that. I'll kind of put it all together what I wanted to do. Well, I ended up pushing it out of the shop. And of course, the one time I had the camera running, I'm actually riding this thing into the woods trying to stop it. It hit a tree. I went flying off. It was a whole thing. But, well, what are you going to do? And it sat out there. That was in 2022 before I went to Sturgis. It sat out there forever. We ended up doing different things. And I said, man, you know what? I think we get rid of this truck. Before I get rid of it, let me make sure that the frame's legit. So I start calling around, trying to find out who around here has a frame machine. I called a couple body shops. They turned me on to Howard. He owns a local shop over here. He comes and looks at it, tells me, I don't think it's bent, but if it is, it's barely bent. We could probably we can fix it on the machine. So I said, well, I got this other one out here. He's like, you can get rid of that. And make no mistake, I'm not blaming Howard by any stretch, okay? So I did. I ended up trading for the Suburban. And then we built the Suburban, and now Eric's got it, loves it. So I don't regret anything that we did there. You know, so we end up saving the Suburban, right? Because, I mean, Sean was working on it, but it was kind of getting like backburnered, right? And then he ended up selling the 65. So hopefully wherever it went, it's getting saved too. So hopefully, I'm hoping everything worked out. And a lot of times, guys, just the paperwork is what you need, right? So, it was already gone. It's been gone over a year now. Joe came over and said all the same stuff that Howard said. And, you know, because after Howard said he couldn't do it, just, you know, he's on different things. Cool, no big deal. He set us up with Joe. Old Wade used Joe, and he absolutely killed it on the job for the floors on the F1 Hondo there. So we'll throw a couple of pictures up. Not a whole bunch. Don't put a bunch because we want you to see the. You know, we're going to show the video here pretty soon. So we hope. But that's how that all went. So now, and as I was driving back, I kept thinking to myself, man, I had that truck right there, the part of the cab I needed, the bed, not the bed, but the frame I needed. And it was $500 in. Son of a... Well, yeah, okay, sure, it was $500, but, you know, we were able to trade up a little bit and that kind of stuff. So it all worked out in the end. But, you know, we just, what are you going to do, right? So we're looking, all right? That was me being regretful.
Oh, this? Uh-huh. That's my credo. No regrets.
Mm-hmm. You have no regrets?
Dad?
No.
Like not even a single letter?
No way.
Yeah, that's right. I'm over that now. So now we're moving on to something else. They have these things all over the place, guys. I'll show a couple ads as we're talking. Now these are going fast because I found a beautiful, beautiful frame an hour away from here. This thing still had the original paint on it, guys. It looked beautiful. Short bed, no rear suspension. Front suspension was still there. That's fine. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it. $500 guy wanted. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, I said, I need a cab, too. He's like, at first it was a guy that had a cab for $100 an hour the other direction. I was like, all right, sweet. Hit him up. He's like, I got somebody coming. Gone. The other guy said, hey, my buddy's got a short bed. I said, well, I need a cab too. And he's like, oh, well, my buddy's got a 65 cab. He had a 60, I think. He's like, it's kind of rusty. I told him what I needed. He's like, yeah, that'll probably work. I said, what do you want for the both of them? He's like, well, I'll hit my buddy up. You're not going to find a better deal than $500 for the frame. I agree. I said, all right, cool, man. I'll take it. Let me know. Well, he didn't let me know. And next thing I know, it's gone. So he sold that. Okay, and I don't expect people to hold on to it for me, but I was like, man, at least let me know they got the fish on the line, right? So, old Wade sends me this one. And it was pending for a minute, and then it was not, so I guess they backed out. This is a nice truck. This is a complete, I mean, it's nice, right? The floors look solid. It's got a clean title. I'm like, man, I don't want to cut this thing up. This is something somebody should build. And say your guy wants $2,000 for it or something, which is probably a little low, if I'm being honest. But when yeah, it'd be great. I could use everything, but I can't use the bed tubs because it's a step side, but we don't need that. We can actually repair the one we have. I'm just like, man, I keep thinking about it, and I keep wanting to message the guy, and then I'm like, I can't do it, man. It's just too nice to cut up. Now there's a flip side. I could do all that stuff to it and then sell the rest of the parts and probably make more than my money back, right? We all know that. We did it with the parts for the OBS, and I was not being greedy at all there, guys. And it worked out great, which is good because I was real pissed off when I did all that stuff in the first place. But it worked out. I don't think this is the truck to do that to. So then there's this one down in North Carolina. Well, it's 5 hours away. It's got everything I need. Doesn't have a title. The frame is solid. The bed is solid. It's a fleet side, so it does have the tubs I need. The bed supports will be the same. It's a big back window. I hate to cut up a cab on a big back window. I personally don't like. I like the small back window better, but people love the big ones. So I don't know if I want to do that, even though it doesn't have a title. I don't know if I want to drive 5 hours. Then I find out it's a rust bucket when I get there and the frame sucks. You never know, right? So where I'm at right now is I hit this guy up here. He's in PA. I think he's 3 hours from here. And maybe a little more. He's got a short bed, and he's got the cab. He doesn't want to give me a price, right? I was like, what do you want? What do you think they're worth? Here we go with this, right? So he's got a bunch of different stuff. He's got a long bed. He's got a couple of things. So I don't know. I'll throw a price at him, and we'll go from there. I'll probably go in high because I just want to get it done with. I said I kind of missed out on 2 things already. I don't want to keep missing out. There's this one right here. Oh, man, I wish it was a 65. But it's a 62. And I'm not sure about this, guys, because the front of the 62s is different, right? It goes, it comes in like, they call it the knee knocker, right? The doors are different. The front of the cab's different. The windshield wraps around. But the back of the cab looks the same. Now, the cab back that I got is 60 to 66. So it's probably the same. So that door jamb will probably work fine. Guy wants $200 for the truck. Now, it's a long bed. Yes, Joe said he don't care to cut it, he'll shorten it. But, and I know people do it all the time. I know it comes out great. I trust Joe 100%. I just really don't want it. I don't want to do that. Dan says it all the time on D Speech Show. Like when he shortened that 67 or whatever he had, 67 to 72, he had that one of those. I love the way that truck come out. He shortened. He always kept saying, "Well, I'll never get short bed money for it." And well, the VIN number reads a long bed, just like all those 4 doors. He cuts to 2 doors. Yeah, even if he does an amazing job on the ones he wants to. There's a couple he purposely does, But it'll never get two-door money. Guys, obviously I'm not selling this truck. All right, so that's not really it. But, I mean, I'd have sold it 100 times by now, right, if I was going to sell it. But it's a real short bed. I feel like you should have a real short bed frame. And that's just how I am. I mean, you're kind of like the shovel head back there. When I had the trans done on it, yeah, I could have done a 5-speed, which would have made a lot more sense. And everybody else would have done that. But I'm like, no, it's a shovel head. It should be a 4-speed. Nobody would ever know but me or somebody that rode the bike. But I did it. That's where my brain's at. That's where I'm at with this. So there's actually a guy not even an hour from here. He's got a long bed, just a frame, and it's perfect for $100. It's complete. I could roll it onto the trailer. But it's a long bed. Now I got it. If it was a short bed, it wouldn't be $100. But over the years, guys, like I said, I've been looking on and off since it's happened. They're out there. I'll find them for sure. There's a guy local that's got one with bags on it for like $500 or something like that. And I say, I don't want to do with that. What I want to do, and this is the best thing I could possibly do, I think. So I'm going to hit this guy up in PA. Hopefully we strike a deal. I take the cab. I drop it off at Joe's. He gets what he needs, and then we do whatever. We off it or whatever. That's not a big deal. I take that short bed frame, which he said has front suspension but not rear suspension, which is fine. I want to redo all that stuff anyways. So instead of straightening mine out, which may kind of get there, and then when I get it back, doing all the suspension upgrades and power, disc brakes and whatever, why don't I get the frame, stick it right here on a set of jack stands, and I get the tube front end and lower suspension and disc brakes, and I do all that stuff, and I wire wheel the whole thing and paint the whole thing and make it beautiful. Sitting right here where I can reach everything. Old Wade's doing the same type of thing right now on that F100. He's doing with the back end. He's wire wheel and painting, doing a great job on everything. So maybe I do that right here, get everything where it needs to be, and then like Joe said, then we put them right next to each other, just swap things over. And while I'm at it, I think I'm going to go 5-speed. So I was planning on doing all this stuff after I got it back little by little. It's easier this way. It'll be a cleaner install this way. Better for video purposes too. I mean, man, why not? So I think that's what we're going to do. Matter of fact, I'm going to message this guy right now. And, well, we'll let you guys know. Hopefully, it's not more than 3 or 4 hours away because I don't want to go that much further, to be honest. And it's everything I need. And we get it all done. So, wish us luck. We'll keep you posted. And, yeah, thanks for watching, guys.